Check 1, 2. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. The water's warm. It's a loud gong. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to you. Today is January 17th, 2023. Wow, the days are just flipping by. There's only 11 months left of the year. What are you going to do with the rest of your year? How you doing? Extremism. That's what we're going to talk about today. America getting very extreme. We once thought it was coming from one side of the aisle. It's natural when someone approaches extremism, extreme behavior. They have to point the finger at somebody to say, we're extreme because those people need to be silenced. And that's not extreme. That's just what we need to do. And you better listen to us because we're right and you're wrong. So that sort of thing is rising to the point of, in one case, today we have a GOP, failed GOP candidate who lost his election by a landslide, 70% to 30%, and claimed that it was rigged and started shooting, did a wild conspiracy to shoot at the homes of Democrats he believed were involved in rigging the election against him. That fascinating story. In San Francisco, if you're black and you're in San Francisco, you are in the right place. San Francisco blacks are looking at $5 million each for being black and nothing else because you're black. So the reparation hysteria is rising, and now it's being penciled into law almost in the great state of California and the city of San Francisco, where anyone will look at the details of what it is that you need to become a $5 millionaire for the color of your skin. Fascinating stuff. What else? What was the story? Oh, yeah, man removed. You heard the Jesus guy? Man is my thumbnail, by the way. Man removed from an American shopping mall in Minnesota for wearing a Jesus Saves shirt. He was wearing a shirt, and he was accused of solicitation of religion. Now, to the police's slight defense, he was ejected from the mall earlier in time for soliciting religion to customers. And that's an annoyance. When you're in the mall and someone's trying to sell you something, you're there to shop. And someone comes up to you and tries to sell you something or tries to get you to sign something. You're like, I'm just here to shop, man, and have a nice day. But in this case, the guy returned to the mall just wearing a goddamn shirt. Jesus saves. Jesus saves. Jesus is the only way. Who cares what your shirt says? I love it. To me, I see your shirt, I'm like this. I love your shirt. I love your shirt, and I love you, and you should be allowed to speak. Just don't come over to me and, look, it happens all over the place. In New York, sometimes you're standing around. A bunch of Hasidic Jews will come over to you and say, "Are you Jewish?" They'll say, "Are you Jewish?" And if you answer no, they just walk away from you. Like they can't save you. But if you are Jewish, they want to talk to you and have you join the Jew. Join the Jew clan. So a lot of extremism. I think it's worrisome. Also in New York City, the Dolans at Madison Square Garden, the owners of Madison Square Garden, and I believe they own Rockefeller Center as well, have initiated facial recognition at the door to weed out lawyers. lawyers that are trying to sue them, a handful of them, but they weren't there to do any suing. They were just there to, one was there for a rock concert, the other one was there to see the Rockettes. And big tech also canceling and discriminating against and filtering out and all this stuff, right? And that obviously you could see how that could get carried away. If your face is in a file of people that some super rich guy like Jim Dolan that owns Madison Square Garden, if he decides he doesn't like you and puts your face into the recognition box, you get to the door or you get to your seat. You buy your ticket, you get to your seat, and a bunch of thugs come over and say, "You're not allowed to be here, man. You're flagged. Go." It is, who gets it? Lawyers now? What about, people that don't like the Rangers or something, who don't like the fucking New York Knicks or Nets or whoever they are? All right. So where does it end? All right? Is there an end to that? Look at that fascinating story. Jutsu Kuda, remember those Hare Krishnas at the airports? Yeah. Hare Krishna is there. I mean, Hare Krishna is... they don't really come. Yeah, I guess they do come over to you. They tend to just set up a table and you usually will go over to them. And they're singing and having a good time. They're not, I don't know, Hare Krishna. It's all freedom of speech in my view. It's all freedom of religion. It's all wonderful. Just where does it become, look, a shopping mall, I believe, should have the right to have a sign on the door that says no solicitation. For the reasons I described. But a T-shirt, I don't know, it seems like a little stretch right there. Where does it end, So my name is Marcus Conte. I have this website. And every morning at 9 a.m., we're live. We simulcast across all these social media networks, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, DLive, wherever. wherever you are, we're probably there. And if you're live today, give yourself a round of applause. Live studio audience of real people. Weevil Girl in the house. Zoot Suit Cooter. Mikhail Sly in the house. Jim Gerard, my brother. And everybody else who's lurking. Welcome to today's program. And just make sure my brain is in gear before I open my mouth. All right, let's go. So, fascinating story. Can't make it up. Defeated New Mexico GOP candidate. Over there in the great state of New Mexico, GOP candidate arrested in shootings at Democrats' houses. So this guy, I don't know who he is, Solomon Pena, is taken into custody by Albuquerque police officers on January 16th in southwest Albuquerque, New Mexico. A failed Republican candidate for New Mexico's state legislature who claimed the election was rigged was arrested Monday for allegedly orchestrating a string of shootings at the homes of Democratic officials in the state. What the hell? He's shooting up Democrats' houses? That's crazy. So Solomon, who ran for state House seat last November, was taken into custody in Albuquerque after a standoff with a SWAT team. He's accused of hiring 4 men to open fire at the homes of 2 Bernalillo County commissioners' offices. There's a bunch of names here. I'm not going to read them all. So these are the people in charge of running the election. And of course, we know they cheat, they lie, they steal, they rig, they fucking forget to count these. They count more of those, right? There's a lot of shenanigans go on. For example, in New York, when Bernie Sanders versus Hillary Clinton, for example, in 2016, where New York canceled 200,000 newly registered voters, purged them off the rolls, and it looked like those voters were going to go for Bernie Sanders. And magically, all 200,000 were canceled in a single swipe. So these things do happen, but shooting up the joint is probably not the right way to go. So the shootings occurred between December 4 and January 5 of this year. Deputy Commander said at least 5 people, including Pena, were involved in the shootings, but the former political candidate was described by police as the mastermind behind the crimes and alleged he was shooter in one instance. So he's not only a conspirator per se, a mastermind, but he had the gun. He did one of the shootings. Police believe Pena's election loss may have motivated him to organize the attacks. So he had complaints about his election he felt being rigged, says Albuquerque police spokesman. And as the mayor said, he was an election denier. Oh boy. He doesn't want to accept the results of his election. You got to go down, man. You got to go down. So the election they had there was 70. The other guy won 74 to 26%. That's a blowout. You can't. That's a hard one to fake, right? You know what I mean? Not when it's a landslide like that. The guy probably lost. Let's see what he looks like. Let's get some images. Oh, there he is. That's the reason. He's a Trump guy. Make America great again. Make America great again. He's got a signed shirt. There's Trump's signature. Is that a real signature? Did Trump really sign his shirt? What else? Why do I get advertisements for dementia? How your body warns you that dementia is forming. Thanks for the reminder. I got it twice. So New Mexico deserves a second choice. There's his campaign fucking pitch. Vote for me. So he's out there saying that the election was rigged. He's responsible. This is crazy, right? Extremism, right? That's fucking nuts. That's nuts. You run for office, you lose, and you try to assassinate or scare the living shit out of the people that beat you in the election, or cheated more sophisticatedly, as we say now. They outsmarted you. They outmaneuvered you. They didn't cheat. They just they outmaneuvered you. They spend more money in the right places, and they got the shit to happen for them. Right? That's the way the elections are, So Pena, an unsuccessful legislative candidate in the 2022 election, is accused of conspiring with and paying 4 other men to shoot at the homes of 2 county commissioners, blah, blah, blah. Wow. Just wow. I don't think we have video of the guy. We got no video. Anyway, moving right along in cancellation news, or extremism news. This isn't even canceled. These guys are trying to get a front seat. You can't make this one up. Look at this. San Francisco reparations panel pitches $5 million each to black residents. $5 million each. $5 million, man. Yo, that shit is dope, man. That shit is dope. I was gonna be a rapper, but I get $5 million from being in San Francisco, yo. $5 million. Is it real? Is it true? Well, listen. A San Francisco panel studying reparations has proposed a one-time payment of $5 million to each black of the city deemed eligible as recompensation for the, quote, decades of harm they have experienced. All right, so listen to this clown, a doctor, Dr. Brown the clown, from San Francisco African American Reparations Advisory Committee. Let's listen to the clown.
That's what has got us all messed up with this extreme, rugged, individualistic, greedy, capitalistic world that has caused so many of us to be down at the bottom and only just a handful up at the top. Next thing I want to say, as an old rugged history buff, I think that we should be careful not to toot our horn, but to tell the truth. The establishment has done far too much to misrepresent our history. Instead of it being history, it was, as somebody said, history.
He's talking about black history. Talking about black history, not history, but black history.
Story, or her story, and not our story. And our story about this task force from day one is that the oldest, the largest, the most feared, the most revered civil rights organization in the world, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, is the body that first broached the idea of reparations here in the city and county of San Francisco in an official way.
Amazing, amazing. Wow, we want to hear him. Hey, we want to hear him speak for sure. Pyramid 7, good morning, says there in the chat, says there was no slavery in California. Right. I don't think anybody was even in California at the time. They were all on the East Coast, weren't they? Mostly. Didn't the migration to California happen, maybe only 100 years ago or 50 years ago? California was a fucking desert. Right? Nobody wanted to go to California. Fuck California. It's too far away from everything that's important over in New York and Virginia. So let's read more. I don't know, $5 million. The San Francisco panel studying reparations has proposed that one time $5 million each. Quote, a lump sum payment would compensate the affected population and will redress the economic and opportunity losses that black San Franciscans have endured collectively as a result of both intentional decisions and unintended harms perpetuated by city policy. That's the official news there. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. The proposal could cost the city, which has a budget of $14 million. It'll cost them roughly $14 billion. Excuse me. Let me get it right. The city has a budget of $14 billion, and the proposal to give every black $5 million would cost the city $50 billion to make it happen. And it's only interesting because there's a panel that is actually ready to vote on something like this. Could you imagine the chaos in California if something like this passes, where $5 million of hard-earned cash goes to a bunch of deadbeat blacks? Not all deadbeats, but a lot of them. People that, it's like, why not just go to West Virginia and give it to deadbeat whites? Or somewhere else, right? Somewhere else in the middle of the country where people are fucking starving. Go give it to $5 million to every farmer because the food comes from China. Or why don't you go give $5 million to everybody in the Rust Belt in Ohio and Pennsylvania, $5 million because corporations took away their jobs, right? Where does it end? It's just ridiculous, right? The committee also or every Italian that came over on the boat, right, walked across the Guinea gangplank and landed in America, took the boat, got out, got abused, buggered, kicked, punched, starved, right? And every other immigrant. Look at the Mexicans. Look at the Mexicans now. They jump over a fence and they work in the kitchen for hours and hours. And they're happy to be here, but in 100 years we have to give them $5 million for their heartache. The blacks. Well, they came here against their will, and they were rounded up by their own people in Morocco and stuck on boats and sold to somebody else who paid for them because they didn't. With slavery, you always got to wonder, what is the karma that led to these blacks getting corralled onto boats and sent across the ocean to get paid? What did they do? How were they so vulnerable in their homeland of Africa to be subjected to something like that? Didn't they know how to run? or were they just low-class criminals and people that couldn't fend for themselves and somehow got devoured by, strongers? Was it white people doing it? I don't know. The slaves in Africa were rounded up and mostly sold in Morocco, as history points, as history alleges. And the blacks rounded them up, and the blacks sold them to, I don't know, whites or Spanish or whoever would buy them, because the whites over there in Americas, the new Americas, they needed a workforce. So they put them on a boat, and if they survived the boat trip, they had a job. So anyway, but to give everybody $5 million for some historical nonsense is fucked up. Here they are. People applaud at a meeting of the reparations task force in San Francisco. It's real. Look at these masked blacks, right? With power. Masked blacks with power, running for office, filling up the seats of the city council, and then demanding that every black in the city gets $5 million. It added that members of the black community demand reparations, quote, not to remedy enslavement, but to, quote, address the public policies explicitly created to subjugate black people in San Francisco by upholding and expanding the intent and legacy of cartel slavery. What a fucking pile of word salad. That right there is word salad right there. Word salad. Give me the evidence. Give me something clear. Connect the dots for me very clear. Where in San Francisco do you not have equal rights? Where? It's only you don't have equal rights in your own mind. Right? But everybody else around you is open and legally bound to the idea of your equality. It's penned in the law, 1964 Civil Rights Act. So by law, you have your freedom. And here's a black woman. She has double freedom. She's more free than the white man. The black woman is legally more free than the white man because the black woman has it penciled into law that she's equal. But if you give everybody, how stupid, right? You want equality, right? Is that what you want? Is that really what you want? Blacks, you want equality, or do you want superiority? You want to be better than. That's really what you're saying. You want to be better. You want us to be in charge, blacks, and you whites over there that have had so much for so long to be second-class citizens. Take a back seat, right? Because you obviously don't understand what equality is. Equality is in action right now. You've had a president of the United States, the highest office. You have two Supreme Court justices that are black, one of which was appointed because she's a black woman and no other qualification, in my view. Right? So the report notes that neither California nor San Francisco, quote, formally adopted the institution of chattel slavery. Other aspects of segregation, like white supremacy and systemic repression found in the legal system, social codes, extra legal actions were designed to exclude blacks. Hey, can you point to a few, please? Can you point to something that supports that? And even if you do, who cares? Right? You have equality now, right? You can't get paid for it. I'm sorry. You don't get $5 million for some historical fucking bullshit. To be initially eligible, participants must be 18 years old and show identity and have identified as black on public documents for at least 10 years. So you can't be a new black. You can't just stand up and say, oh, I'm black and I want $5 million. You got to be historically documented black. What else? They must also prove that they meet 2 out of 8 additional standards, including being born or having migrated to San Francisco between 1940 and 1996, and having proof of residency for 13 years, and being personally or direct descendant or someone jailed in the failed war on drugs. What does the failed war on drugs have to do with black reparation slavery? It has nothing to do with it. Nobody told you to go sell drugs on the street. Right? Now those types of drugs, a lot of them are legal and acceptable and mainstream. Nobody put you up to that. That was your choice. That was your choice in a free society to do it, I guess. All right. So, or a descendant of what black can prove that they are descendant from someone enslaved from 1865 all the way back to the time of Lincoln? How can a black prove that? I had trouble proving my grandfather came from Italy. I looked into it. He came through, not my grandfather, but great grandfather came through Ellis Island, 1905. I was able to find it from the Ellis Island records, but and that was hard. That was pretty tough to do. How are you going to trace back where there's really no records of it? Nobody had it was no legal documents or anything. It's probably already been destroyed or lost or didn't exist in the first place. They're just fucking corralling the blacks, let's go. So, unbelievable story. There are so many efforts that result in incredible reports that just end up gathering dust on a shelf, said one of the liberal lefties about this piece of legislation. San Francisco is already reeling. Okay, so I don't know. What do you think? Reparations, give every black $5 million, make them happy. Maybe that'll shut them up finally. And maybe they'll shut up after they get $5 million. And that won't be enough, because then they'll say, well, $5 million is not enough, man. I need $50 million. I need your house and your car. And you need to expunge all of my debt that I accrue for the rest of my life. Damn it. So reparations in America. Oh my God. Incredible times we live in. So moving right along, man ordered to remove Jesus is the only way t-shirt at a Mall of America, I believe in Minnesota, one of the largest malls in the world. People packing in to shop. And a man inside the Mall of America last week was ordered by security guards to remove his t-shirt that read, "Jesus is the only way," in a viral confrontation that has sparked online outrage. Let's look. Let's watch the video. Why listen to me? Let's watch the video in itself. Let's go. Put this up and pow, confrontation. Let's go.
This is associated with religion and it's offending people.
No, it's not. Actually, it's not religion. It's about eternal life.
Okay, but it's the same thing. Okay, people have been offended, and like I said, all we were asking you is to take your shirt off. You can go to Macy's or we can leave.
I didn't say anything though.
Cops saying, take your shirt off. Take your shirt off. What if he was a woman? And they said, take his shirt off. That's, something to think about, right? So there you go. There's the confrontation. Black man with dreadlocks walking through the mall on his day off or whatever. And he's got a shirt. And he's doing, he's doing that thing that Christians do, which is carry the message of Jesus wherever they go. It's, what's it called? It's called something. I don't know. It's working for the church, right? We go out, a missionary. They're missionaries. Got missionaries all over America promoting their religion. So what? Sometimes you might hear something good. Some of the Christians are amazing to talk to. I love talking to them. Sometimes I recall I was sitting on the beach once in Far Rockaway, and I saw them coming. I saw them. They had the Bible in their hand, and I'm sitting there all by myself. They probably thought I was a loner, lonely guy who needed to find God. And they approached me, and they were, talking. Not the first time, not the last time. and we talked, and I understood their view. I heard their view, and amazingly, they listened to my view as well. Although they didn't agree with it, of course, but they listened, and there was no harm done. It was intellectually stimulating to talk to them, and I enjoyed the conversation. And at the end of the conversation, both of us were, satisfied. I continued to sit on my bench and and gaze out over the ocean, and they continued to hawk along the beach trying to get Christians to join. So I'm sorry, I interrupted the video. So here we go. So here's a guy promoting Jesus in the mall. Let's go.
I didn't speak. I didn't speak. I didn't say anything. Just went to Macy's.
He's saying I didn't speak. I didn't say anything. I'm just wearing a shirt.
Just enough you wear the shirt, you walk around the mall.
Oh, I'm gonna say to that.
So there's the back of the shirt. There's the back of the shirt. What does it say on the back of the shirt? Jesus is the only way. Coexist. And he's got a big slash mark through all the other religions. He's got the peace movement, the Jews, the other crazy religious people, attacking them with a line. You can't put a line through the fucking Star of David. But that's what the back of his shirt says. Jesus is the only way. No.
Oh, I'm gonna say to that.
So again,
This cop has a taser, right? He's not a cop. These are hired goons. That's a new phenomenon in America. They have we don't use police anymore. We get our own security that's trained with tasers and guns and handcuffs and bats. Well, there's a lot of shoplifting that goes on in these malls and thievery. So maybe it's necessary, but there you go, man. These are not real police officers. They don't have arrest rights or anything. I don't think. They can only detain and then the police do their business. But the guy's got a taser. There it is. It's not a gun. It's a yellow gun, which is a taser.
giving you real props.
Why are you making me sure you got the shirt?
To give you the background on the story, they stopped the guy because he has been in the mall soliciting Christian, theory. Right? He has been there and identified as somebody that they had to say, stop doing it, get out. Once before, but not this time. He just returned with a shirt. He found a back door, I guess.
You can go to Macy's and you can do your shopping, or you can leave the mall. Okay, those are your only options right now.
Okay.
Unless you want to be placed in another. If you want to shop here, you need to take that shirt off.
What is wrong with
Okay.
what is wrong with my t-shirt?
What's wrong with my shirt?
It is religious soliciting. There is no soliciting allowed on mall property.
He said the cop said people were complaining about his shirt. Really? Oh, did someone's feelings get hurt? Oh, somebody got their feelings hurt, so the man has to take off his shirt because your feelings are
Which is private property. Okay? So again, we've had yes and no talks. Exactly.
What is
Just
wrong
take
with
it
my
off the shop, man. That's all we want.
No, I'm serious. I know the quality t-shirt.
But you were
last time I was
I don't know what else is in this video, but let's watch it to the end and see.
here. They told me to leave for 24 hours. I did. Yes, that day I was preaching.
So he's talking about the other day when he was asked to leave, and he did leave.
Yeah, I was preaching the gospel that day.
Yeah. You're still soliciting. And again,
The cop said you are still soliciting your shirt. Your shirt, your clothing is a form of solicitation. Now, that is way over bounds. That is way what you wear, right? That's like the kid in the Lincoln at the Lincoln Monument, Sandman, right? The young man, I forgot his first name, Sandman, who had a smirk. His smirk was considered racist, but this guy's shirt is considered solicitation. What about any shirt? What about a shirt, Nike shirt? Or what about Adidas? Or what about, some competing mall down the block? No words on no shirts. We should all just wear gray suits. Uniforms. Uniforms, that's the answer. We'll all wear uniforms and walk around and keep our mouths shut like human robots. And that'll solve the problem.
Yeah, I'm walking. Yes, you're walking wearing that shirt in the form of soliciting, and we've had guests come up saying that they've been offended by your shirt.
They have been offended by your shirt.
We've had guests come up and say you've been offended. So, like this gentleman just said too, take the shirt off and you can go shopping.
He don't care. Take it off. Take the shirt off. So what else do we know? Security guards. Jesus is associated with religion, and it's offending people. One of the guards tells the man in the video from January 7 incident. The man tries to reason with the guards, telling them that he didn't speak or say anything. Right? In terms of preaching, crazy, right? A spokesman for the Mall of America told the Daily Mail that 1 week prior to the T-shirt incident, the man was issued a 24-hour trespassing for soliciting guests. All right. That's the past. The past doesn't equal the future. He's back, and he's shopping, and he's wearing his shirt. He's doing his missionary work to spread the word of God. Jesus. And they kept saying again, you saw it in the video, it's religious soliciting. No, it's not. It gives me a couple of options. The guard told, I'm giving you a couple of options. These are the options the man was given. The guard told the man who was wearing a long sleeve shirt underneath the T-shirt, you can take your shirt off and you could go to Macy's and you can do your shopping, or you could leave the mall. Those are your only options right now. Right? Take off your shirt or get out. Crazy thing, man. Many Christians said they were shocked to learn the video was taken in the United States. Right? Oh my God, you think this would happen in a banana republic? Oh, wait a minute, we are a banana republic, aren't we? Aren't we a banana republic? It looks like it. Prosecuting people for free expression in a shopping mall, not soliciting at all, not bothering anyone, but simply wearing his shirt. For simply wearing his shirt, and you were offended by it. Okay. Was it? Where you could also go one step further and say, what if he had something pornographic on his body, like, I don't know, two humans having sex, right? On his shirt, and behind it was like maybe a big middle finger. I don't know. I don't know where you draw the line there. Is that I would imagine that falls into the category of obscenity. For me, for this reporter, I would love to see that. I would laugh. Oh, but Conti, you don't care about the kids. The kids can't see humans having sex because it's bad. It's bad. Oh, they're not allowed to see how their own species reproduces, man. You're fucked up, man. You're a child molester. You're a fucking sex trafficker for having that view. And then all that starts too. He should sue them into oblivion, says a pastor, a Christian pastor. Those who wouldn't have it, this wouldn't have happened anywhere in the U.S. until very recently. And it certainly wouldn't have happened if he had a pride shirt on. And even 50 people complained. Right. You could walk into the mall with a gay pride shirt. No problem. Where are we soliciting, or are we gay, finding other gays to join our gayness? Right? Here's a Christian guy looking for more Christians to join his Christianism. It's the same thing, right? We wear clothes to attract people that are of the same feather, right? What are you going to say? You could think like, okay, well, all women. You ever see women with the long fingernails, and they're all painted different colors? Well, that's blackism. You can't. That's solicitation of reparations. That's Black Lives Matter shirt. You can't have that. That's trying to squeeze the city of San Francisco for $50 billion in back slavery, right? You can't have a shirt with Martin Luther King on it. That's racist, man. Right? That shit is like you can't. It's solicitation of blackism. See where there's no boundary to that. There's no line. There's no line in the sand there. It's all just. It's just opinion. That's all. It's opinion and fashion statements, if you will. But really happening in your hometown. Final story. MSG, Madison Square Garden, risks government support by targeting enemies with facial recognition technology. Polls warn. So the background on this, Jim Dolan, very, very, very powerful New York guy. His father in the 70s bought Cablevision. He bought up all the dead cables, thinking that nobody was going to ever use cable again. And then along came the internet in the 90s. Now everybody's using cable. That Jim Dolan, that's his father. And from that money, they bought Madison Square Garden. I believe they own at least half of the New York Rangers or something. And he doesn't like that lawyers, he's targeting, so the rich guy, the blacks are targeting the whites. The cops are targeting the guy wearing a shirt. And the rich guys are targeting lawyers. Right? Fucking leave everybody alone already. Cut it out. So, rich guy Dolan. Elected officials were warning Madison Square Garden Entertainment to stop using, quote, terrifying facial recognition software to boot rival attorneys from venues like Radio City Music Hall, or risk losing valuable public support critical to its bottom line. So we are gravely concerned. What are the instances here? There was a couple of people that were hanging out. Look, lawyers are scum of the earth, right? Lawyers are paid liars. They're paid to lie and buffer you from the law or from the attacker. That's what lawyers do, right? And does a lawyer genuinely have an opinion of anything in terms of the case that he's fighting? Not really. He's paid to have a view, right? He's a paid hack. Right? How do you blame him? How do you blame him? So Jim Dolan is pissed off, a rich guy. He's pissed off. He's using the technology that he probably purchased somewhere to keep his attorneys out of the fucking place so they get off his back and don't go into the venue and find incriminating stuff, I guess. But where do you draw the line? Can facial recognition and such technology be used to weed out other people and not just lawyers? Of course it can. It seems like all you got to do is stick a face in the data bank, and when that face crosses in front of the screen, pow, you're out. So maybe they don't like, I don't know, maybe they don't like guys that wear Christian shirts, or blacks that want $5 million from the state of San Francisco, state of California, or maybe they're affiliated with the Republican GOP guy who's shooting up the Democrats. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy times, right? I mean, this is it's cancel culture at all different levels of society at this point, and it's being, in my view, exacerbated by technology. Cancel them online. They're talking. Cancel them. Shut them up. So anyway, Marcus Conte reporting. Oh, let's look at the market. Ding, we're open. Oh boy, we're open. Day off yesterday. Market's open 12 minutes. What's happening? Oh my God. Looks like it's a relatively quiet open. NASDAQ is down 4. Looks like it's going to turn green in a second. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 162. S&P 500 also down only a point. Up a point. So very flat to medium size open at this time. And let's look at the big board. Apple up 50 cents. Amazon down 50 cents. Google down $1.37. Meta, formerly Facebook, down $1.81. Microsoft down 71 cents. Rivian up 20 cents. The other electric car maker, Tesla, with an A, is up $5 today. Tesla up $5. What else? War stocks, Lockheed Martin up 3.5. Raytheon up 84 cents. Pharmaceutical industrial complex stocks, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson mixed. Pfizer down $1.65. Johnson & Johnson's up 71. Moderna down 2. So right now we got kind of a flat to nothing burger on Wall Street right now. That's good. At least it's not plunging, for Christ's sake. Oh boy, I said Christ and sake. I'm soliciting Christianity on my channel. Cancel him. I can't take it. Cancel him. I can't take it. I'm offended. He said Christ and God and Jesus and Buddha and Allah and Mohammed. Oh my God, he's a Christian. He's an extremist. He offends me. His language offends me. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Thank you everybody for joining me. Marcus Conte reporting. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great day. See you, man. We're going to make it through this storm. We are going to make it through the storm. We're going to come out the other side of this. We're going to come out the other side of this in one piece. One piece, one harmonious America again, where all people are created equal in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of God. We are all God's children. We are all God's children. All of us. Peace, everybody.